Everybody is wondering why Brent Hinds left Mastodon. So I started digging into everything I could get my hands on. And while Brent hasn't released a statement yet, he did do something on Instagram that is a big hint. So on episode 209 of Heavy Metal Philosophy, I'm digging into why Brent Hinds and Mastodon split up. I'm digging into every clue I can find. I'm speculating and I'm bringing receipts. Whoa, we got to stop the podcast. John from the future here, and I have to add this addendum in because when I recorded this episode during the weekend, we didn't know who was going to be playing in Brent's place during the already booked Mastodon shows this weekend and upcoming. And in this episode, I put forth a bunch of theories with evidence of why I think Brent and Mastodon split. And I said in the episode that who they get to play with them would show us whether or not this was a sudden decision, whether it was mutual, whether they've been preparing for this. And I think we have our answer now. You'll see it later in the episode, but I will add in another addendum of who that is. In the meantime, let's enjoy the episode and I'll show you all my findings. Thank you. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, JonBarbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's Riff of the Week. This week, Mastodon was at an event without Brent Hinds, and Braun Daler was sporting a semi-fresh, kinda healed black eye. The event was at New York City's Metropolitan Opera House, which was hosting an opera based on the novel Moby Dick, which also inspired Mastodon's landmark Leviathan album. So the band was invited to a talk about that influence.
And I said, you have a copy of Moby Dick here? And they gave me a paperback copy of it, and I read the whole thing. And by the time I got to where the guys were, I had my elevator pitch ready to go for those guys. I think by the third page they had referred to sperm whales as the salt sea mastodon. I was like, there it is.
And then on Friday, March the 7th, Mastodon announced via their Instagram that the band and Brent Hinds had decided to, quote, mutually part ways. That statement reads as follows. Friends and fans, after 25 monumental years together, Mastodon and Brent Hinds have mutually decided to part ways. We're deeply proud of and beyond grateful for the music and history we've shared, and we wish him nothing but success and happiness in his future endeavors. We are still very inspired and excited to show up for the fans in this next chapter of Mastodon. As we move forward, all 2025 touring plans will remain intact. We look forward to seeing you on the road. Now, with the event at the Opera House and this statement occurring within such close proximity to each other, fans naturally began to speculate whether or not Braun's black eye was given to him courtesy of Brent Hinds. Well, I'm of two minds about it. On the one hand, I could kind of see Brent doing that. He did once instigate a fight with Chavo, the basis of System of a Down, which resulted in him suffering massive head trauma. According to Rolling Stone in September 2007, the head injury Mastodon guitarist Brent Hinds suffered during MTV's Video Music Awards weekend appears to have been caused by an altercation between Hines and System of a Down bassist Chavo and a musician William Hudson. Initial reports indicated Hines was jumped, but hotel security footage and eyewitness reports now reveal that the singer was drunk when he encountered Chavo and Hudson outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. According to a police report, Las Vegas Weekly cites Hines as the instigator and allegedly took off his shirt and hit Chavo with it, then punched Hudson in the face and chest. After initially trying to calm Hines, Chavo and Hudson punched him in the head, resulting in Hines' severe injuries, brain hemorrhaging, a broken nose, and a pair of black eyes. A representative for Hines, who was apparently released from University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, issued this statement to Pitchfork. Brent has begun writing and wants to just put all this past him for the moment. So yes, Brent is capable of violence, but I don't think that he punched Braun. In the statement that Mastodon released, they said it was a mutual decision and they offered nothing but love to Brent. And it's impossible to know, especially since Brent hasn't released his own statement yet, but he did do something on his Instagram that, at least to me, says that him and Braun are still on good terms. So why did he leave then? I think based on interviews I've read and podcasts I've listened to, Brent is just burnt out and needs time away from the band. I think he's sick and tired of the constant touring and all of the myriad of obligations that's involved with the business of being in Mastodon. I think it's just too much to be in such a massive band.
Yeah, I mean, like I basically went on tour for 15 years and never got to see my family that much. But I was kind of estranged from them at the time. I'd kind of ran away from home when I was younger and just kind of never went back really until my brother passed away. And then we just kind of, it was like.
How are you with the family now? Good?
Killer, yeah, super good.
You guys ever fuck around with that on sound check or something? Just play a country song?
Absolutely not, because they are meet and greets. Our sound checks are meet and greets, and these Mastodon people show up and they don't want to hear that shit.
Oh, I got you. They're there at the sound checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the industry now.
That's what we've been subjected to is, basically fucking, just bowing to people. Thank you so much again.
Now, some people have speculated that Brent doesn't like the direction that Mastodon has been going, thanks to a now infamous interview where he said that he hates heavy metal. The now infamous quote in Guitar Player magazine says, "I never really liked heavy metal in the first place. I came from Alabama playing country music, surf rock, rockabilly, and stuff like that. I just went through a phase in my 20s where I thought it was rebellious to play heavy metal. And then I met Braun and Bill, and they were really, really, really into heavy metal. And ever since then, I've been trying to get Mastodon to not be such a heavy metal band because I fucking hate heavy metal and I don't want to be in a heavy metal band," end quote. But even with that quote out there, I don't think that's the reason he left. He later went on to say that that quote was taken out of context, and what he actually said is that he hates most heavy metal. And also I have this clip from the Dean Del Rey podcast where he says he loves heavy metal.
Yeah.
Because like we love heavy metal, and we've proved that we've been dubbed a heavy metal band for a long time, but we're really just like we love more so love punk rock than we do heavy metal.
Now, I do think that some members of Mastodon love heavy metal more than others, but that's only natural.
Played like 350 shows with Slayer. You know what I mean? We were like the house band with them. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, Mastodon and Slayer, of course. Which was amazing, because I grew up a big Slayer fan. I still am, but I was a huge Slayer fan as a kid. They were like it was like Slayer, Merciful Fate, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Metallica, all that good stuff. Yeah. I'm probably me and Bill, I guess, are big metalheads in the band. I think I'm the biggest metalhead in the band because I was more into actual death metal and shit like that.
It's important to remember that Mastodon are not just bandmates, they're longtime friends. Brent said that he played heavy metal because he met Braun and Bill, and that makes sense to me. I mean, no one would ever have to convince me to play heavy metal, but I have played genres that aren't my favorite before. I love playing music with my close friends, and that's why every time Sarah King tours the South and asks me to be a hired gun in her touring band, I say yes. It's not exactly my style of music, but I love playing music with my close friends. It's the best. Besides, Brent is currently working on something with Matt Pike from High on Fire. Do we really think that this project is not going to be metal? I would be shocked. No, I really think it's all the touring and obligations that Brent just doesn't want to do anymore. He's always gone when he's in Mastodon.
What I really want to do and what I really hope people will let me do is take some fucking time off and let me breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been going at it for 18 years, man.
That's how shitty the music that's how shitty the music industry is, because you got to work your dick into the dirt before you can see any worms.
Yeah, I was talking to Bill about that on the podcast.
It's just like this is definitely the most brutal job I've ever had.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I would definitely rather frame houses again.
Really?
Fuck yeah. Like no one's looking at me. It's like, stop looking at me just because I fucking played goddamn show on the stage. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't care. Never have cared. But I, even when the opportunity's there and you strike and it happens, and then they milk you, like I feel like I'm being milked like a dry hyena titty. I don't have nothing left for anyone.
Yeah.
They've worked me to my fucking soul is almost gone. So my next thing is going to happen for me is I'm not going to play music for a year or two. I need to go regather myself.
Really?
Yes, really.
After this tour, you think?
I never said that. I said that's what's next for me.
I got you. I got you. I mean, I get that.
As far as me, what's next for me is that.
Right.
Now, what's next for me in my job? I couldn't tell you. I mean, they probably got tours booked up their bank accounts, just so they're. I don't know. They got me booked as long as they need to eat.
Wow. Yeah, I get it.
Or as long as they need to shop or whatever they do with their money. I don't care. All I care about is my peace of mind, which is leaving me.
I mean, they just played a festival in Australia. Australia is a long way to fly to play a show. And this coming after a long tour with Lamb of God, the Ashes of Leviathan tour, which celebrates the 20-year anniversary of Ashes of the Wake and Leviathan. And they just got home. They get a short break and they're going on another months-long tour starting in May. And Bill wants to go even more places.
Hopefully 2025 will be a positive, we have some touring coming up, which I can't announce yet.
Sure.
Got the new record, and I don't know what else to strive for besides keep on moving forward, playing shows and getting out in front of people. And there's a lot of countries and cities that we haven't made it to yet, which we're always dropping in the hat. Like, hey, we want to go to Thailand. We want to go to China. We want to go here. We want to go there. But it's a big world, so.
So what happens when some members of the band want to tour relentlessly and another member doesn't? Something has to give. It's like a married couple where one person wants kids and the other person doesn't. Either one of them is going to have to do something they don't want to do, or they need to split up so that they can all pursue the lives that they want for themselves. Doesn't mean that they don't love each other. It just means that they can't have the lives that they want while they're together. Love does not conquer all. So this leads me back to the Brent and Braun Black Eye speculation. Do I think that they had a fist fight over touring arguments? No, I don't. And furthermore, they are both in another band together called Fiend Without a Face. And while Brent may not have released a statement or said anything on social media yet, he did update his Instagram. He took Mastodon off of the list of bands he's in his bio. But Fiend Without a Face is still on that list, and in fact, it's first on that list. So I don't think that they would still be in another band together if they were on bad terms. My theory is it's all the relentless touring, and I think that the whole camp has been planning this for a while. I think Brent has been meeting all of his touring obligations, and at the same time, the whole camp has been prepping for this and trying to groom a replacement. Brent is a founding member, super important on guitar, and further, he's one of the vocalists. I don't think they can get just any hired gun on a whim to replace him live. So I have two things in the future that I'm going to be watching for that will either confirm my theory or refute my claims. Do y'all remember when I did the episode speculating on why Slipknot fired Jay Weinberg? At that time, I said, whoever they hire to replace him will tell us a lot about the, quote, artistic choice they were making. Well, now fast forward to the future, we know that their new drummer is Eloy Casagrande, and as an artistic choice, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I think whatever we see on stage live at the upcoming Mastodon tour dates will tell us everything we need to know. I mean, they just released a statement on Friday, and the next day they're going to be in the Dominican Republic playing Tool's new festival. How are they going to do that without Brent? I think they already knew this was coming. By the way, this is ongoing right now, so I haven't seen the footage as of this recording. So if one of you happened to go to the Tool in the Sand festival this weekend and you saw what it looked like on stage for the Mastodon set, let us know in the comments. Mastodon either have to already have a replacement ready to perform with them this weekend, or they have to perform along with tracks. So if there's somebody with them on stage who knows all of Brent's guitar parts and can sing all of his vocal parts, then we will know that they have been prepping this person for a while. But if they're playing along with tracks, well, that would mean that the breakup was sudden. And then I might believe the speculation that Bronze Black Eye came from Brent. That would make me very sad because I love Mastodon for numerous reasons. Oh, hey, we're going to interrupt the podcast again, John from the future again, because as I said, now we know who was playing guitar in Brent's place over the weekend. It was none other than Uncle Ben Eller. And this to me says that they knew this was in the works for a long time, and Ben has been preparing for this. He played not only guitar, but he also handled Brent's vocal duties. So that means he had to have been working on this. The band must have rehearsed together. I don't know Ben personally, but I've been watching his YouTube channel for many, many years. And if there's anything I know about Ben, it's that he does his homework. I think Mastodon contacted him quite a while ago and said, hey, you want to do this? Can you learn these songs in this amount of time? And of course, Uncle Ben said yes. In the meantime, Brent fulfilled his duties to his bros in the band until they reached this point. You know, you've seen that Nirvana's been playing recently with Post Malone and other people singing. If Pat Smear fell ill and couldn't do a show, they could call me and I could do that show for them in a couple of days' notice because, you know, the songs, they follow a pretty basic verse, chorus, bridge, chorus format. It's mostly chord progressions, whereas trying to learn Mastodon songs, these are complex arrangements with multiple riffs, multiple guitar harmonies. He's got to do the vocal harmonies. There's no way he did this on 3 or 4 days' notice. I don't think that's possible, especially for as well as he played in the clips. So I'm going to say definitively, Ben Eller has been prepping for this. Amazing that he kept it under wraps, but that to me says that everybody in the Mastodon camp knew this was coming and they all worked together to make it happen. So good on them. I'm very happy to hear that. Now we'll finish out the episode. We'll do the riff of the week. And I am just so happy because I love Uncle Ben. I've used his YouTube channel to learn many things on the guitar to help me prep for gigs of my own. Like, oh, I need to learn this solo. Hey, Uncle Ben, he did a demonstration of this solo on his channel. Let me go check that out. And I'm glad that Mastodon can continue on with somebody in capable hands. And I'm glad that Brent Hinds can pursue life the way that he wants to and be happy. I think everybody wins in the end. Long live Mastodon. Read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you. Hey, the episode's closing, and that means the riff of the week is about to play. While the riff of the week plays, why don't you mosey on down to the description below, and there you will find a link to the merch shop where you can get sweet swag like this. But you need to do it soon because it will only be available till the end of the summer. So check it out, JonBarbas-shop.fourthwall.com. Links in the description. Now let's do the riff of the week.